suffered a loss in the first round of the playoffs to Bemidji State. Their defense did a really good job of keeping your offense in check. Just talk about kind of what you saw from their defense and why your offense just didn't seem to get that big play that you usually get.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You're playing a really good defense, and they were too. I mean, it was 2 top 10 defenses in the country going at it, and you saw it on display, I think, on both sides of it. You really did. At the end of the day, I think we kind of picked a bad day to not play our best game. And I think, after the first 2 weeks, starting 0-2 and, running off 9 straight, I just felt like that we got better and better each and every week and, kind of continue that growth. And, it's just a matter of, playing really good defenses obviously is something that you run into at times like that. But I don't know, I felt like we blocked them pretty well. We did some good things with it, but just didn't make the plays, and you just have games like that. You can sit and look at, offense, defense, special teams, and all those types of things, and and on all phases we could have played better, and we just didn't. But I'm proud of the guys and the way they played all year, and there's some great things to look upon, but we just didn't get going. That was something we just didn't quite get. On the same page offensively between the receivers and the quarterback, and obviously we didn't run the ball like we thought we could run the ball a little bit, and that's credit to Bemidji State. I mean, they're good. Coach Ford, their DC there, is a guy I've known for a while, and he's done a great job there. And they were loaded up with seniors on defense, and you saw that. They just did a great job. But at the end of the day, could have done some things better in all phases. And obviously offensively. Just didn't quite get things going.
Walk me through post-game. What was your initial reaction to the loss, and what was the locker room environment like? What was the first thing you told your guys? Yeah,
I told them I was proud of them. I told them that, a good coach, one of my high school coaches, Rick Hendricks, said a long time ago, he said, the football is shaped funny. It's not like a basketball and a volleyball. That thing bounces right back up to you when you bounce on the ground, and sometimes when the football lands on the ground, it bounces towards you, and sometimes it bounces away. And that's what I told them. The ball bounced away from us today a little bit, and it's just one of those things. And I told them I love them. I told them how proud I am of what they did. Again, I'll go back. You start 0-2 and you run off 9 straight wins. That's a culture win. That's a standard. At Angelo State, that's something that I feel the program has earned, and those seniors especially were a huge part of it. My years here as a head football coach, I've been 6 years. 5 regular full seasons. We had the COVID year, but these guys have been involved with a lot of those games, and having that senior leadership to run off 9 straight and get this program to where it should have been, this year, because I felt like we had a good football team. That's what I told them. I told them I was proud of them for the setting the standard and keeping the standard of what it is. And you hear the word culture a lot, culture win, I guess. But to me, it's more like the standard of what we expect and how we get better each and every week and develop players. I was just really proud of them.
So we've touched on the loss, obviously, but what do you think went well for you in that game? What were you most impressed by with your team? Well,
with the exception of the punt return that they hit for us to get down to the 10-yard line or whatever it was, because we got a penalty after that to put it half the distance. But I thought we played very good special teams. We had a punt block that gave us a 1-yard field for our first touchdown. We blocked a field goal at a really crucial time of the game. I thought defensively, I do think we played well on defense. We held them to 260 some yards or something like that. But we missed a few tackles here and there, and they hit us on the big touchdown at the end where you're still hoping to get a stop, and we had 3 timeouts, 2 with the 2-minute warning. So we had a chance to maybe get the ball back if we got down 17-14. We had a chance. So we missed some tackles and didn't execute there. So I was really proud of the way our kids played overall. I'll go back to the O-line. I thought the O-line pass protected very well. I mean, we did, and it seemed like Braden had some time. They covered us up downfield, and he had to scramble with it a little bit more. But there were a lot of good things in it. There really was. It's just a matter of the scoreboard didn't indicate the great things. But at the end of the day, I'm proud of these guys and proud of their efforts throughout the season.
What's the real quick update on Braden Wilcox? How's he doing?
Yeah, I can't talk much about the health, but he's making great improvement. I can say that, and I'm very happy about that. I talk to his mom a couple times a day right now, going through things, and they're in good spirits.
So going into the off season now, what are some of the biggest takeaways from this season? I know you briefly touched on some of them earlier, but How will you adjust or make changes going forward in the next season?
It's just continue to develop our young players. It comes down to that. Obviously, the transfer portal is something that's alive and an animal within the NCAA athletics right now. So we'll have to deal with that depending on who goes in. You take a look at filling certain spots. Not so much that you got to replace starters that we have right now that are graduating. We got great development players. We got great young guys that are coming up and taking the roles. It's when you lose guys that are juniors and seniors, or to be juniors, to be seniors that are kind of working into that. Do you have to replace people through transfer portal? And that's something we'll evaluate when we kind of get to that point. But it's about going and just continuing to get better in what we do in our systems, offensively and defensively, and on special teams. And we're going to replace a lot of really good seniors off of this class. But again, I'll go back to the people we have that were in the backup roles last year and split some time and did some things. And being a developmental program where we're going to recruit those high school players, get those guys better and better throughout their careers, and win with them when they're juniors and seniors. That's what we'll continue to do. But we'll dabble in the transfer portal when needed out of that part, because if you don't, you're going to get left behind a little bit, because a lot of those schools will just go do 100% of that. I'm not going to do that. I want 95% of what we do out of recruiting to be out of high schools and in the state of Texas, and we'll continue to do that.
Coach, you pride your program on that next man up mentality when it comes to your depth. However, you did have a couple of missing pieces for the Bemidji State game. Do you feel like their absence played a bigger role than you anticipated?
They do. Whenever you lose your best guys out of that part, it always has an effect. But again, it is next man up, and we were prepared, and we prepared all week. With the guys we had. Obviously Eric Rasco not getting a chance to play in this game. Anytime you take an All-American type player off the field, it does affect you. But I will say I'm very proud of Alex Bulabasis, and he stepped in and did a really good job for us on Saturday. He did. There was nothing that was glaringly bad that all of a sudden Alex didn't do that Eric does. But what Eric provides is that experience and leadership that and the calmness. I think that calming people down out there on the field that Alex just hasn't had that experience yet. But I'm really proud of Alex. On that part, he stepped up and did that's a big role to fill. Replacing a guy like that, and so that was something a little bit. But at the end of the day, our guys are prepared to go out and play no matter who it is. We get our 2 and 3 deeps guys ready to go on offense and defense and special teams. And, you always want your best out there that you can have. But, again, we're just excited about the development we have and the young guys, because the fall off's not that much. We can continue to win football games with the people we got in the program.
And then looking back at the season as a whole, is there maybe any special players or anything else that you may have wished you could have done better throughout the season?
That's a tough question. Just thinking offhand, put me on the spot. I just feel like, at every position we can always get better, right? We can always make better, more plays and do different things. It's just a matter of going out and executing and getting better. So nothing that's like offhand sticks out there. I'm just so proud of the way we developed all the way through. You take a look at I think we had I think Zorn was second team all conference at receiver. I would put our receiving core up against anybody. We spread the ball out. We didn't have that one guy with 50, 60 catches, but we had 5 guys with 20, and 25. And we had a really good group there. The Kyle Bradfords and, Kel Williams, all those guys. And obviously I mentioned Zorn, those seniors, man, they just went out and played. And they just went out and sure, they want the ball more. There's no doubt. You can see in their eyes too, they want the ball more. But at the end of the day, they were great teammates and they were great people to have on our team. And that's why we were successful, having people like that. And, so I kind of point out that room a little bit, and I'll point out the O-line room a little bit too. Obviously Jake Long coming back and finishing his career at Angelo State, there was nothing more special to me than that. Seeing a smile on his face each and every day after not having a great experience when he left. That means the world to me. And then you look at Noah Plesix and the Connor Fishers. I'm talking about the seniors right now, and those guys coming and doing what they did and everything they gave to the university and to this program. Those are the things I'm going to remember.
Trace the things all the way back a couple months. You start 0-2, then you go undefeated, 9-0 in LSU play. What was the biggest adjustment made going into week 3, and what really sparked that turnaround?
I think the biggest thing was our team understanding this was a good football team. We played 2 really good teams out of conference right away, and teams just get better throughout the year. you do. You're hoping to play your best football at the end, which usually means you're playing your worst football to start. And, we got beat by two good teams in Fort Hays and Emporia, and, we got better. And so did they. I mean, I'm sure they did too. I didn't watch their seasons in the sense of how they developed, but we got better. And we knew going into the season, we thought we were going to be pretty good to start. So just kind of falling back on, the confidence that this is a good football team, the trust in it, the trust in each other with the coaching staff, trusting the players, and the players vice versa, trusting the coaching staff. And, I'll go back to it. It's the standard. It's the expectation to go and compete. We have goals set each and every year, and the number one goal each and every year set is to win the Lone Star Conference Championship. That's number one, right? It's, then it's to win all the games, and, then it's the national championship and those things. But, the first thing is to win the Lone Star Conference. So that was still ahead of us even when we were sitting 0-2. So our guys just, got buckled in, and we spoke about, speaking in truths over that. We're 0-2. We're not hitting the panic button, but we got to crank up that sense of urgency, and our guys did. And, that's the standard that's been set by, this group. It was carried on by this group, but set by years since 19 when we took over. These guys have bought into the philosophy of what we do offensively and defensively, and the expectation here. And, that's kind of how it went.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Hey, guys, thank you, and I appreciate you.